Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're breaking down our picks for the top 5 and one worst. Level 5 Paladin Spells.
There's only 8 of them.
Yeah, and still, I had some difficult decisions to make.
I think like 2 of them are clearly better than the rest. And then the rest are just like, these aren't good at level 17, which is when you get them. So,
all right, one of them was clearly good for me. I'm curious to see what your other clearly good one was.
that's fair. I like this my other clearly good one more on clerics. But they gotta pick something, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of how I felt doing these.
Yeah. Quick note, paladins, and I swear to you, I can't ever get this right in my brain. And I always like, oh, you can spend 5th level spell slots to smite. Wrong. Divine Smite goes up to 4th level. You can spend 1st through 4th level slots to do it. Right? Damage is plus 1d8 higher than 1st to a max of 5d8. Yeah, max of 5d8. So 3d8 or 2d8 for 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. 4th level spells. That's all you can do. You can't do it higher than that. So 5th level spell slots have to be spent on spells.
Okay.
Which is a weird decision, but sure.
Yeah, well.
It makes the smite actually slightly better.
Yeah,
because you can't smite
that's what I was
normally with
thinking.
it. Yeah.
All right. Why don't you kick things off?
Okay, best one by a lot is Summon Celestial, and it's not close. It gives you a multi-attacking ally, and that's not like knowing that your cleric could have been doing this since 9th level is a huge bummer, and knowing that all of your other buddies can summon better summons than you because they have more attacks is a bummer. At the same time, a multi-attacking Avenger is pretty great. A multi-attacking Defender next to you to give you a bunch of temp HP and keep you alive is pretty sweet. Concentration's a little bit of a bummer because you're a Paladin, but maybe your AC is like 28 and you don't care about getting hit anymore. So I think this is a pretty solid option that almost is worth casting as a 17th level character as a capstone. But still not that good.
Maybe you send the Celestial ahead of you and you go sweep up what's left.
That could work.
Yeah.
It's a great spell. It's way better at 9th level than it is at 17th.
Yeah.
Which is going to be the majority of our conversation here, I think. It's like, wow, you get this at 17th level, huh? Wish is available to wizards, huh? Oof.
Yeah, it's kind of rough. But yeah, that's where we are.
It's true.
That was also my first pick. All right, I'll go for the I'm a little nervous about this because you're gonna think it's wrong. But my second pick, and of course we didn't do our caveats. I don't pick mine in order. I don't rank mine. You do. All right, so my second pick was Raised Dead. Which, yeah. All right, look at your face. I see it.
You're 17th level
17th
character.
Level, yes.
Your cleric's been doing this since 5th level. 5th level. Revivify's existed for the majority of the living
you can't get there in a minute.
I guess, okay. So as one on a list, this maybe deserves my number 5 because there's some real trash here. At the same time, like, I can't possibly get excited. I get, so is a prepared caster, or paladins are prepared casters, right? God, I hope so. Spell casting, are paladins prepared casters? Answer is yes, you can prepare this. Okay, fine. This is the kind of thing where it's like someone died and you don't have a cleric and you don't feel like going to a local village or big wizard tower to find healing services. So you go, that's fine, I'll prepare this now and we'll let them be dead for the minute and a half and I won't revivify them. Then I'll raise dead them. That's
I don't know.
pretty
I'm
harmless.
not excited about it. I don't know. I was in a hurry picking these.
That's fair. I think Raise Dead is like, you don't ever need to have to get, like, you shouldn't need to take this at 17th level. If you do it after you rest and it doesn't really count. So it's kind of like a class feature you get at 17th level. And in that case, yeah, it's fine. Sure. You convinced me. It's fine.
Great.
My number 2.
Yeah, it's Raised Dead, so whatever. It raises dead. We don't need to spend forever on it.
There's just so many spells that do that. By that I mean like 6, but it's still a lot. And most of them are as level or lower. At least the ones that are worth casting. My number 2, and I think this is way better on Cleric than it is on Paladin, which is going to be a running theme, as you already have established. Holy Weapon. So this is a 5th level slot that takes a bonus action to cast, which is a big deal because it means you can immediately cash in on the 2d8 bonus radiant damage it deals. So like the play pattern is you bonus action and put up your holy weapon, attack for 2 bonus 48 damage, and 48 is close to a 5th level smite. You just need 2 more attacks with it, then it out damages a 5th level smite. That's pretty fine. I'm pretty here for that. Is it 17th level fight? No, because again, your cleric can give you this at 9th level.
Yeah.
Recurring themes, but like, you know, as far as you do your own thing, sure. At bonus 2d8 damage on hit, this will outpace a smite if you can maintain concentration on it for more than a single round, and that honestly isn't that tall of an order. So
that almost made my list, but I thought, magic weapon, 17th level. I picked raised
2d8
hit
bonus
instead.
radiant damage on it.
Yeah, it is a decent amount of damage.
The other thing that I didn't even mention that I think is really meaningful text. You can, as a bonus action on a subsequent turn, dismiss it to have it explode. So if you're ever in a situation where you're against like 6 different things, and you're like, well, I only have 2 attacks. I guess I'm gonna cash this in. Or attack, bonus action, it explodes. Means you get the 2d8 for each attack on that turn, and then it's an AoE blind on top of that, and that's pretty spicy. That's pretty sweet. I would much rather my cleric do it, but it's still pretty good on Paladin.
Yeah, this probably should have made my list.
Yeah, I think this is the clear second one. The rest of them is a crapshoot.
All right. Next one I chose was, and I'm gonna have to look up and see what this does again, but I chose Destructive Wave.
I hate Destructive Wave.
think
I
because
really
it
do, but I think
sounds
you're
cool.
right.
But let's see. Oh yeah, 5d6 thunder damage, 5d6 radiant or necrotic damage, and knock prone. I like that. What do you hate about this?
Okay, so it as a paladin spell is a 5th level fireball, but it has to be around you. You do get to pick, so it's selective, so other melee creatures can take advantage of the prone condition, but you can't, because you're spending your action doing this, which means they're going to get up on their next turn, and you won't have the ability to attack them at advantage. So you don't really get to benefit from the prone condition whenever you use this, which is a bummer. And again, Fireball does 5d6 or 10d6 damage at range in a great area. This does selective fireball damage around you, and it happens at 17th level as opposed to 9th level.
Yeah.
That's not really where I want to be. If we compare this to Holy Weapon, which has the 48 AoE damage on top of the on-hit weapon attack bonuses that it gets, that's way better against single and like 2 or 3 target creatures, and it comes with a blind, which is going to be more meaningful against upper tier encounters wherever you care about mitigating them hitting you. You care about reducing their attacks to 0. That's something that blinding helps do. This doesn't do enough meaningful in combat goodness for me to want to spend an action on it, I don't think.
I don't know, what if you're in a melee heavy party?
It gets a lot better. It gets a lot. If you got a fighter, if you got a rogue that's doing melee stuff, you got a monk, I'm a lot higher on this spell. Still, it's a 17th level, which I don't love. But then again, you don't have full casters in that group. So maybe that it looks still a lot better then, because like the whole group doesn't scale well, like the other small casters do. In parties without full casting, this is pretty exciting, actually. That's probably great. I just don't see that being many parties.
What about
Most people have like a wizard or a druid, you know?
Will this knock flying creatures out of the air?
It knocks them prone, so if they don't have hover, yes. Which is cool.
Yeah.
That's assuming they're like flying 30 feet above you?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I think there could be a cool fantasy, right, where like the dragon's flying in the air and you just be like, toss me, and the barbarian just yeets the paladin and they just
Well, now you have to strike the ground.
Oh, I take it back. So you can't do it midair, which is a bummer. But it doesn't have somatic components, just the verbal components.
I'm looking at the first line of the text. You strike the ground.
That's by definition the somatic component.
Yeah.
And Wizards, fix your game. Come on. Inconsistencies. Oh well, that's fine. It's a non-factor. It just means you can't do cool things in the air with this.
No. You made a compelling argument. There's no somatic component. Maybe you strike the ground with a rock that you drop.
You drop a rock to strike the ground to explode from your current position.
Yes.
Sure. That's cute. Is it top 5 worthy? Maybe.
All right. Well, what else do you have?
I hate this. This is hard, Bob. I hate this. We're in the territory where I'm like, I don't want any of this on my sheet. This one is one that you like a lot more than I do, and I'm sure it has to be on yours. Gaius. right? That's
I
on
don't,
yours.
I don't remember. It is, but I don't remember liking this.
I swear, isn't this the one where? Nope, I was thinking of the one where things can see it from a distance and can't move closer towards it or
Yeah,
whatever.
you're thinking
That's
of
not what this does.
sympathy, antipathy. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
No,
This is.
I don't know how I'd ever use this. Like, I'm gonna send you on a quest. Uh,
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm wrong. I thought this was antipathy and sympathy, which is funny because I thought a 5th level spell was what that spell did. I don't know if I can defend putting this on my list because what it functionally does is you say, hey, if you don't obey my commands, you're gonna get a brain aneurysm. So against low HP things, you kill them instantly, and against
yeah.
high HP things, they ignore it and have a headache. So it's kind of like, what does this actually do? That being said, I could see there being paladins, especially like Oath of Conquest or Crown, that are like they're doing the lawful thing where the punishment is death, and they're just like picking peasants, being like, Gaius, you're going to follow these commands or you're going to die.
Yeah.
And that's, at least thematically appropriate. Is it good as a 70th level character? Oh, but that's okay.
I guess it depends on the missions you want them to run.
True. If you're like a capital E evil paladin, why not? That seems like something you could do. If we're going against Ancient Dragon, they'll just go like, I'll take this 5d10 once per day, thanks. And then move on with their lives. Is it worth top 5?
You can have
Maybe.
multiple of these running at the same time.
It's got a 30-day duration. It does take a minute to cast, so you have to be like, sit there and listen to me give you instructions.
Well, I mean, for anybody that's going to be affected by this, the minute duration's not a big deal. They're not getting away from me anyway.
I'm envisioning
in slavery the spell.
I'm envisioning there being like a common street criminal that's just running away from a paladin that's being like, you're gonna stop stealing, because he needs to stay within 60 feet of him for the whole minute, and you just got like this great chase scene where a paladin's trying to Gaius the thief to stop stealing. That sounds cute. Is it worth 17? Is like a 17 level paladin ever doing that? No, but is it better than the other ones on this list?
Yeah, it made my list, but I wasn't excited about it. I'm feeling a little bit better about my last pick than I was at the beginning of this video, but I got Vanishing Smite.
That is my number 5 as well.
What was it before you looked that up about the 4th level smites?
It was just because it technically does more damage because it's D10s instead of D8s. So like if we do what a hypothetical 4th level smite would be, it would be 68. So 68 averages to 27 damage, where 5d10 averages to 27.5 damage. So it's slightly better, and it comes with upside. And that's...
I'm not super excited about the banishing part of this.
Me neither.
I
think that's almost
that same sort of thing with the power word spells. I really don't like these hit point threshold things.
Like let's put us in the example too, where you hit that hit point threshold. That means you're hitting something to within 50 HP with something doing at least 27 damage, which means it's probably dead to a second hit. Like we tack on the greatsword and the modifiers, and it's just like, oh, I should just hit it again. Banishing it's actively a downside because then maybe it does something when it comes back, right?
Steal my kill, the spell.
Yeah, exactly. I don't love it. So I will say this for its cause. It is a just and like fair, non-violent way to remove things, because you go like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to send you to a home plane, and then you're going to stay there as long as I maintain concentration on this.
Non-violent.
Okay, non-lethal. There we go.
Yes. Well, maybe
potentially non-lethal. We'll go.
You don't know how many hit points it has. That's the whole problem.
That's a good point.
With all these the power word spells too. I mean, I don't want to kill you, so I'm just gonna stab you with a smite and hope that you're within 50 hit points.
Yeah.
And you go back to your home plane.
And that's just like, oof. This spell's not good, but it is still a 5th level smite if you want a 5th level smite, even though it's like, again, it's technically on par with 5th level smite damage. It takes your bonus action. So if you want to do that, this counts. Oh, it has 10 minutes. You can concentrate on it for 10 minutes to dismiss them permanently? I thought it was 1 minute. 10 minutes. 10. That's so long. Oh my god, this is so bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I flipped my window. I was reading the Circle of Power
Ah,
duration,
all right.
not the Banishing Smite duration. That is a minute. I'm just wrong. That was close. I was like,
Have you just given us a clue as to what your pick for the worst is?
maybe. There are some bad ones here, Bob. There are some
Yeah,
really bad ones.
that's not my worst. So, um, man, we might talk about all these.
Maybe.
But are we at the worst?
Um, I'm waffling. I've been. Yes, we're on the worst. My list. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
go for
lock it
your
in.
list.
I'm gonna lock it in because I really don't think any of these deserve better mention. I can't. Okay, Raised Dead gets to make my list. You've convinced me. By that I mean I've convinced me because it's kind of a feature, and that's better than every other one of these except the top two. So my top five: Summon Celestial, Holy Weapon, Gaius, Banishing Smite, and Raised Dead.
Yeah, mine's not too far off of that. I got Summon Celestial, Raised Dead, Destructive Wave, Gaius, and Banishing Smite.
No, I don't love any of that.
No. This is the curse of the half caster.
Yeah. Okay, it's not my best, but I want to talk about it. I want to talk about Circle of Power. Should this be on my list? Commenters, let me know. It seems bad to me.
I
It's
forgot. What
such
does it do?
foolish overkill. It's a 30-foot radius area on you that takes concentration and action to set up that gives everyone advantage on saving throws.
What, all saving throws?
Yep.
Oh, that's something.
Is it do you need it? Is it worth it? I don't know. Probably. Is it better than Raised Dead? Probably. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't want to have to use it.
Slow down, Sam. Advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects.
That's basically every saving throw.
That's
95% of saving throws. Is a Dragon's Breath weapon magical?
Is it?
Yes. Well, I
Oh.
say yes. The answer might not be yes. If it's not yes, this gets a lot worse.
That's an important question.
It's a good point. Listen, commenters, let us know. Does this deserve either of our attention for top 5 slot? Because I truthfully don't know. I suspect the answer is no, but I also that's kind of your job as a top tier paladin. It's just saving throws don't work against us. So maybe you take this as ghoulish overkill to deal with the DC 35 saves or whatever that are going on then. Maybe. All right, Bob. I gave you a weird honorable mention.
Sorry, I'm looking. Now it appears the consensus is a Dragon's Breath is not magical.
Great. So this is even worse than I initially thought, that's dumb. Dragon Breath deserves to be magical. Internet consensus, I disagree with you on a world building perspective, but I probably agree with you as a rules written perspective. Anyway, Bob, what do you got for your worst? Hit me with it.
I picked, let's see, Dispel Good and Evil.
That's a pretty bad spell.
Let me.
You can break an enchantment, or you can do a melee spell attack to get banishment.
Another banishment.
Yeah, and the thing is, you get banished. You just have that. That's a spell you could choose to cast instead. You have to touch them and make a charisma save against them. Oh my! Or they get a charisma save. Oh my god! You have to hit them, and then they save, and then it goes away. God, Dispel Evil and Good is bad. And it would be bad as a spell you get at 9th level. And this is how you get at 17th level.
All right. Well, break enchantment is the first of the two effects. So I guess that's what they meant to be the meat.
Pro Good and Evil does that.
What's that?
Protection for Good and Evil gives you that.
Well, that protects you against it. This breaks it once you've got it.
I would much rather have the preventative measure than the retroactive measure. And the preventative measure is a 1st level spell slot.
But if you didn't use it,
sure. This is the emergency valve.
I mean, how long does that last? How long does that protection last?
10 minutes.
Oh, well, that's pretty good. Yeah, you can use that ahead of time.
It also gives them all disadvantage on attack rolls against stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, if you know you're running out into Fey territory, then maybe do that.
You just spend your action on that too, right? So you action to set this up. It lasts a minute. That's an entire round just to set it up. Then on a subsequent turn, you can spend another action to break one of the enchantments. You're going to be spending 2 actions to dispel 1 effect.
Yeah, that's not great.
That's awful. All right, this was your worst, right?
Yeah,
You seem like
yeah,
you're like,
that's my
this
worst.
thing's here.
No,
This-
I'm not defending this. I picked it as my worst for a reason. I'm just reading over it again to make sure I know what it does. And but no, I hadn't even considered the using an action to set it up and then using another action to get one of the effects. That's it's worse than I even thought. Yes.
And you're doing that instead of taking 2 attacks. No,
Yes.
thank you. I like to never cast the spell and be happy for that reason. Thank you. For what it's worth, we've definitely talked about worse spells than this in a vacuum. At level 17, I don't know if we talked about a worse like if this was a 9th level spell, which is the tier we're talking about here, this spell is actually the worst spell in the game. So that's, bummer for being a housecaster once again.
Is this also your worst, or?
Yes. We've talked about literally all of them.
All right. Yeah.
The one I was unsure about was Circle of Power, and I still think that might deserve it over Raised Dead. Probably, maybe. I don't know. Maybe deserves it over Gaius. Probably, maybe. They're not good. Take Holy Weapon. Take Summon Celestial. Those are the ones that are almost worth it at 17 level.
Oh, but yeah, it's nothing you're getting excited about. All right. Well, that was our picks. All these half casters, I really feel extra down when we get to the 5th level and the video's over. I wanted to be more excited at this point.
If only we could talk about like Meteor Swarm or cool spells.
We'll get there again. We still got a couple full casters left.
Excellent.
All right. Well, that was Paladin. Stay tuned next week for whatever we have next. Maybe we'll go full caster next. I don't know. We'll see.
Cool.
Yeah, let us know your list, your opinions on our lists and all that, and whatever, down in the comments. Leave some comments. Also like, subscribe, all that, and thank you, Sam. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it, a gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.